I think Zola, I've done a couple of South American games with you, toward the beginning of the year, where I kind of said that there's so many roster moves in South America that are so uninspiring, and it all feels like much of a muchness. There's no one really taking their rosters to the next level, and I want to see that. I think Red Canids are trying to do that at least with Drop and Cowers, and Drop will start off the game with a dually headshot.
Yeah, nice find. Bomb will go down, disadvantaged, but for the time being, I think Red Canids, they've got the numbers on this retake. Cowers, if you can find Dog, Dog seems so unaware. That's a second kill now found with these dualies. And this should be a fairly simplistic round for Red Canids, especially with coldzera chiming in. Angelo on the bomb site needs to find plenty, but Ponta just through con. Gafolo found, and it's the dualies finding 3, and just so clinical there from Red Canids. They just suffocate the A bomb site, you know, maybe even taking Ivy on the T side, which I feel like was always a position where you'd kind of just half check it every few seconds. Yet now, it seems like the T's, they put so much weight in it that coldzera will find one. Oh, the kill feed just so easy here. The trade will come through. Ponta will find 2. I was rambling about Ivy, and it's come down to a 1v1. Angelo, he's on the AWP. He's on his premium and specialist weapon.
Yeah, but he's not necessarily been the guy that has delivered all the numbers on Sharks recently. He's the new addition. How does he play this 1v1? Venomzo's got that defuse kit. He can lure him into the open, but Angelo hits it. Well played, Angelo. Really important opening round for Sharks. Sure.
Sharks, not perfect buy. A couple MP9s in play. Utility not perfect. For Red Canids, sorry. It's not a perfect buy for Sharks either.
Yeah, it's an awkward one, right? MP9 charging its way in toward Pop there to try and find an answer, and Koala's actually done really well to find one. Cowers got his one with the MP9 in return.
This is why coldzera has backed away towards B, because there is always that idea that they could have just made their way down, obviously lower. Ponta has been smoked off. Might take some pot shots here. Oh, Ponta's... I feel like he's going to take a huge risk by going through this smoke, but it could pan out perfectly. Timing, absolutely everything there for Ponta, and Angelo just going to have to save. Won't even be able to retain that AWP into the next. And Red Canids back to winning ways.
You mentioned that Ponta gets some really important impact kills, and his numbers, like on HL2, don't necessarily do him justice. Take a tick on RDN, so they might know he's in there. Cowers can play close with this smoke and be a bit of a nuisance with Drop's position.
Dog's pushing out here. Steps have been heard. Aggression coming through. And oh, this is so simple, so easy, so effective from Red Canids. The setup's brilliant. 2 points of damage is all that came through. It's not as though you're going to be able to win a round with, 4 or 5 players alive on the T side. And obviously it means that Sharks will be facing off with weaker weapons. We saw it with the MAC-10. We saw it kind of with weaker utility in many of these rounds for Sharks. So they need to be in a spot where not only do they win a round, but they've got to keep at least 3 players alive so they have a good buy in the next. But coldzera's positioning is brilliant. Drop can take attention away. RDN gets the double, but again, as I mentioned, coldzera, great positioning there. 2 versus 2, though. Angelo on the AWP, aware of coldzera's positioning. He is going to get taken down. Koala has a free kill in his sight. Don't really know why he's taking his time, but maybe didn't realize he was already chipped away and wanted to secure the headshot. But
sort of encircling B with 2 on the site itself and 1, as I mentioned, with Cowers' position.
I think the difficulty here is Sharks are looking, by having the success in the last round to on the B bomb site, they could condition Red Canids to play a little bit more towards B, and obviously it would weaken the A defensive massively. Drop gets 1, Angelo with the trade, but the issue I have with that round is we've got Cowers so deep towards Pop Dog. I don't know why we haven't just seen both B players look to play from upper. Just play a double upper setup. Okay, yeah, it means they can push down lower B, but if they do that, you're in such a good position. You've got such a fast flank. So I don't really know why they're so heavily conditioned towards B, and then the half HP Cowers kind of just left alone, but out towards ramp, and look at that. That's one way to deny any ramp aggression. It's Gafolo and Doc now. They've got 1 belt of utility combined, but disadvantage, 14 seconds on the clock, and there's going to be a flank from Ponta eventually. And right now, Red Canids don't actually need to fight. They know that Sharks are going to feel so locked in on the bomb site that a flank is going to be the last thing they're thinking of.
The shadow, easy, surely for VenomZera, and even if it's not easy for VenomZera, it's going to be easy for Ponta. Lovely cleanup, good teamwork, good patience there from Red Canids, and it wasn't even the fact that they got those 2 picks by their positioning toward B to recover the man advantage and flip the script of the round.
The sands in the hourglass are slowly falling.
Yeah, it's a really... I'm really glad to see Red Canids play the way they are at the moment. Cowes, oh my word, look at the position he's playing in. He's so confident to get himself into the action and into the madness. Like, again, Sharks are running through a smoke. Like, it's ill-advised, whichever way you look at it, but Cowes is punishing them every single time. The round's still a slight glimmer of hope, as Angelo will burn Ponta out, and he's still full health. He's still got the bomb on his back as well.
Ooh.
But with elevated angles from Cold, like reacting to that and predicting that is going to be so difficult. They know they've got him locked in. Cold is looking to see if he can even play closer to main, keeping silent.
Like this, yeah. Double pop could work out perfectly. Cold's arrow. Oh, we've all had moments like that. The second you turn around, that's when they swing. I like this from Cold's arrow and Venom though. Not only the shoulder-to-shoulder approach. The only issue I do have with it is that Cold's arrow would be the one. Well. No, needing the trade, but holding towards A main he finds. And now, their game plan, it's going to be a real shock to the system here for Sharks.
It is indeed. Finding something a bit faster without going through a smoke this time, but even though the flashes are delayed, and they're delayed to a decent level, there were a couple of blind players out on the A-bomb site there. Once again, it's Ponta and Cowes just holding the line. Going to be pretty impenetrable outside, it has to be said. I mean, you mentioned Ponta could end the half with 12 kills. He's got 14.
Yeah, he's had a really good game. And that's the thing, I feel like Ponta... Look, he's got what? I think he's got a 1.00 rating in the last couple months, or maybe a 1.04. I'm not too sure, but it's not
like
as
that, yeah.
It's not as good as the rest of his team. It's decent, and I think it's the type of rating that you expect from a supportive player, and especially with the names that Red Canids have here, it's not bad. But this is a perfect half for him. There's nothing more you can do. Now on the T side, look, he could have the T side where it takes them 9 rounds to close out this game, doesn't even get a single kill. But the fact that he's getting traded, he's finding impact, so important. But 1v3, come down to the 1v2. There's a low HP here on Ponta, and it will be dropped to take first contact up on top of the train. Oh, he's not been spotted, but Angelo not been capitalized upon. No damaging utility to force Angelo out into the open. They are playing back-to-back. There is a chance of a collat, however rare that might seem. Angelo's wasted so much time here, but the trade will be seen. There is enough time on the defuse, I believe. Yeah, we will see that come through. Red Canids get double digits heading into their T side.
3 players there at the moment. So will become flying through now. The smoke for that in the Ivy, and now be forcing our way forward. There is that smoke con as well. There are plenty of players around the back of the site for Sharks to retake at a good timing. They've got a kit on Gafolo. They can afford to take their time and allow Red Canids to set up for now.
Yeah, obviously this round started with a great HE grenade from Gafolo. So much damage dealt, and the CTs are going to be spamming through these smokes. Oh, I like the idea of this from the T's. Just take this space. You don't really have an exit strategy, so look to fight forward, and now Koala under so much pressure. We'll get the first and the second. Gafolo finding Cowes on the bomb site in time, and Ponta found as well. Coldzera has let Ponta die there. He's holding for kind of a long Ivy flank. If he's just sat in A main,
yeah,
it's 11-3. Money's shattered for Sharks. It is finished.
Yeah, it's the right way of thinking about it for sure. Unfortunately, there's only a lot of damage, and yeah, again, it seems like Red Canids maybe haven't necessarily learnt from what Sharks did badly in the first half. We're running through smokes.
Yeah.
And that ain't going to work, I'm afraid. 4 alive for Sharks. They're alive now in this game as a whole. Suddenly, it's a full eco for Red Canids. It's going to be 10-5.
But look where Angelo's playing from. He's playing deep, kind of on the right-hand side, deep in camera, which means that if they just throw one smoke, Doc is here completely alone. Coldzera should get a freebie onto Koala, but maybe looking at the mini-map, maybe kind of just too busy focusing on the comms, yeah.
You just got owned, I think. I think that's a case of like holding an angle on CS2, and you know, sometimes it's hard to react. That is a great reaction from Drop though, and that one headshot suddenly allows a plant on B, and an opportunity to win this round, because you've got Doc still low HP, he's been given the AWP, obviously. That does make sense, but
what is Ponta doing?
Venom Zera and Drop in this 3v4, he is quite a way away, yeah. I agree with Ponta, but if they just make sure to stay alive, this retake is taking quite a while.
Yeah.
This flank behind Con should guarantee at least 1 kill. What's the trigger discipline going to be like here for Ponta? Ardian's now made his way through. The angle might be a little bit harder now they've made their way through, but it might not matter because so much damage is being done. He's got 2 free kills. He's whiffing his lines a little bit, but he gets his 1, but he can't get a second, and in the end, that's how it all falls apart. But it's not going to fall apart at all because there's no kit for the defuse. They're both going to save, but it's Red Canids who are going to find the round. Won the round with nobody, of course.
Yeah.
Which is one of the roughest ways to win a round. They just have enough utility to try and make something happen here. Again, surely we're not going through a smoke again. This hasn't worked once this game. But this time, they've got good timed flashes, and they've got Canids and Drop on the entry. They now know where Angelo is. They shouldn't be fighting him more. That smoke finally comes through toward that big position. And now they're going to flash their way through it as well. Break that smoke open. Deal with one more. Koala's trying to make a nuisance of himself here, though. Jumping around the site, but not allowed to get more than 2. It's a good trade from Cole.
So he's forced back, and because that molly comes through, he's conditioned to hold that line, because you can't just run towards back green, towards kind of hell, without having a look, because you know they're going to be coming through that smoke. So he has to stare at the flash. Great utility damage onto Koala, and from a difficult round as is with limitations, they now are a man down. Looking at the minimap, looking at the positioning of Sharks.
This is great.
I want to say this game's already done.
This is a really good call, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so simple, but they're just happy to wait until like pretty late in the round. What is it, 28 seconds or so before they made that call? They molly off that pot position, that long position, and they get a full path straight to a B, no hesitation. As soon as that molly is thrown, they know the jig's up, and they go straight in for it. And the site was clear. And they're going to have deep smokes in play. Everything is coming up Red Canids right now. This has been a great performance. I'm really, really happy with what I've seen from them. And as you say, when you've got no kit, the weaponry here for Sharks is not great at all. Cowis has found 1 more. He's going to end the game with 20, and it could even be 1 more than that. It's only Angelo left, stuck with the MP9, and he gets dealt with. Look at the kills across the board there from Red Canids. A really good team performance, and that is what I thought. There's a slight glimmer of a chance that could possibly happen.
Where they'd get kind of 3 kills where they really should have only got 1, or kind of getting doubles when you really shouldn't find a kill. And I think if they don't have big moments like that, things could fall flat. But Cowes getting on the score sheet early on, traded by Angelo, but Venom Zera finding the player a bench, and Venom Zera doubles. Obviously, the bottom performing player for Red Canids in Venom Zera. Having a good moment here on the pistol. Oh, Gafolo finds Cold Zera in the smoke, but Venom Zera again with the trade. Triple on the pistol. Disappointing here.
There should be no risk here, even though they are going into a stack over toward B. It's only USPs. Drop a C1, should check close left. He does sort of half check it, and a half check was enough for him to be able to react in time. USP does get 1 more, and then they figure out what's going on, so they're going to escape from that possible risk. And they'll allow Angelo and Bolo to keep the AK and the Galil for now. Kara's going to try and hunt them down, but Angelo will stop his advance, so acceptable damage for Sharks on this round.
Yeah, it's really important, actually, that Angelo saves here, because it means that he can get the AWP out as soon as possible. The top team might get, let's say 12, and then it's halved all the way down, even sometimes to kind of round of 16s. I quite like the fact that not only do you get the close qualifier spot, but you actually get kind of, there's a massive prize there for you as well. I feel like it's just going to make these teams want to fight as hard as possible.
Yeah. The dry swing from Drop towards Short, and that cost him his life, and that's one of the maybe first misses we've seen from Cowes in the entire day's play so far. Fair enough. He was bound to miss one at some point, and it's going to be a very comfortable opening buy round here for Sharks. They're going to survive with all 5 players alive. Ponta and Venom Zera with no time remaining and looking to have no other option than to save with the bomb dropped in mid.
Has kind of cost them their momentum, hasn't kind of kept them so fresh and so ready. But I'm loving this setup here towards B. It's going to be Koala to take contact. RDN is going to be an unknown factor, and this is so simple. RDN gets the triple. Cold Zera, all that remains, and Doc will be able to find this one quite comfortably. So not only is it another round victory for Sharks, but with 5 survivors, money at an all-time high.
Got Sharks in the game. Got them with a clean first gun round victory. RDN in window, checking that low position, but is he ready for them to be up short so quickly? The answer's no, and they're going together here, Red Canids. That's the difference. pack-based play up towards short, but Doc could still be doing something, and Koala could as well. They're completely holding off the B push. No way in for the T side. Koala with a couple, Doc with a couple of his own, and even Angelo coming in to help out at the end of the round.
Struggling to connect the bullets, might be going for a bit more of a disciplined and kind of slow approach, which might not work. But out towards ramp, a strong setup here towards A. They are playing a bit disciplined, just leaving Koala to take contact and to swing off of it. Angelo will be rotating in time. Where's the utility here from Red Canids? They're trying to just do it with the weaponry alone, and they're getting peppered by util themselves. And obviously, by every second that they're still stuck here on ramp, it's another second that the CTs can rotate in. There is no need, though, for RDN to peek on out. Angelo will get one, though, and Angelo doubles. Okay. Doesn't really go the way of Red Canids. At best, it's looking as though they will probably still lose Mirage, but hopefully there's some twists and turns. Hopefully we can see Red Canids come back, because after the brilliance of Train, I didn't expect this level of performance, especially not on Mirage. Drop. Oh, lovely double from Drop, and that's the type of play. That's the heroic moment. That's the manic moment that spurred Red Canids. With so much success from Train and Drop. Oh, missed shots. Okay. Still alive, and if anything, he's creating more pressure towards jungle than apartments. Ooh, great awareness from Drop here. Doc's gone so loud. Where do you think he's gone? You've not seen him back in Murder Hole.
As soon as I saw the 5 bullets after doing this spray in CT and he hadn't reloaded, I was like, okay, you made the perfect play, but sure, jungle control on such low HP, you're going to need to use some utility to help out your teammates to force their way up con. Look at Gafolo's position. How do they get past him? The nade is okay, but doesn't really do considerable damage. And look at the time. This is pretty much, how do they get to the site and plant it safely? There's so many players here. Colzero's about to go down. There we go. Push from Angelo. Again, so like kind of what I was mentioning to you, just complete miscommunication and in disarray. Red Canids on this T side right now.
And it's something that Laz brought up. Realistically, Red Canids, it's not as though their game plan's been really poor. It's not as though they've kind of really struggled to figure out what to do. Cowes is 1 and 10. Ponta's 2 and 7. You know, Coldzera's 2 and 9. The individuals are just so missing here. It's exactly the issue that Sharks faced on Train. And I think that's the really sad thing to see, because Red Canids had such a good chance here, probably coming in as the underdogs. The fact that they took map 1, it looks so positive, but this round's looking good at least. But RDN rotating in puts Ponta in the 1 versus 1. Gafolo swinging out wide, steps to her. Spam is seen, but a lot of damage there. Excellent. Ponta gives himself a real chance in this one. Gafolo, his position's made known. Ponta, is he just going to take the wide swing? He is. I like how he plays that clutch.
As well as he could have as well, and from his POV, Ponta played it fine, but Gafolo was kind of in the open for the entirety of the clutch. He allowed himself to get swung. He revealed his position very, very quickly. And I agree with Cowes as well, because he had such a great map 1, but now 2 and 12.
Is they'll have so many different strategies in place when someone isn't performing. Because Cowes is 2 and 12. He's clearly not playing very well here on Mirage. You can't go for the same game plan. You can't go for kind of more of a frag-based approach, maybe where you're looking for defaults, you're looking to kind of play a little bit slower. Because you can't play slow and not hit your shots. It just doesn't work. The CTs are going to be eventually taking some space. And you see it there. Just so late to go into the site. Gafolo, he's just going to have his gun out. He gets the easiest double. Obviously, he gets his 4th in the round, in fact. But I'm feeling very unconfident for Red Canids. It's 9-3. The bookies have been watching this game, have they, right?
Maybe it's for the series?
Yeah, maybe. Well, Venom Zara certainly going to be changing those odds with the performance in this round. He gets the 4K. Venom Zara, he for triple in the last pistol. He's got 4 here. That's 7 of his 10 kills found on the pistol rounds.
And the time is incredibly low here. 12 seconds as they try and push their way up connector, and it's going to get munched up. And honestly, that's how it should happen. Like, if you're going up con with 12 seconds to go, you shouldn't be with, like, no information about where anyone is playing on A. It is not. Cold will do it again. This time does take some damage to his own nade. He managed to avoid it last time, and unfortunately he's a split second too early to be able to break that smoke and see what's coming at him in mid, and Cowes will get caught by Gafolo.
Perfectly synergized, and this should be a fairly easy round. Ponta, how has he not spotted the players in con? Well, they certainly know about him.
Yeah,
seemingly not. Okay.
Unfortunately, I think because he wasn't seen and he didn't see them, that actually consigns his A-site teammate to death. So that's like kind of what can you do at the end of the day. They were screwed either which way of it, I think. Red Canids in this round. Cole's going to try and do something, but Angelo will make sure he can't do anything. Or swing him out of the round there. He tried to push forward, try and play at an angle that maybe was unexpected, maybe hoping that they thought he'd fallen back to save, but Doc worried about pulling out utility at the wrong time, almost need decision to nade him, but very, very tight from the information standpoint there, and Ponta, well, he's hit his headshot, but bested by the AK. Venomzera needs to hit another headshot of his own, but only some damage, and then Drop will get caught as well. Cowes is going to be here pretty quickly, should catch one, but he needs one more from jungle, and he's been mollied off. That will finally dissipate. Bit of a slightly lazy swing there, I think, from Doc, actually. He was kind of in the midst of throwing utility. He should have known Cowes was a bit closer than that, but it doesn't matter. He actually got his gun back out in time, faster than I thought he would. No worries there at all.
Look, the moment there from Cowes in ladder is the exact same from that T-side pistol from Red Canids on train. It's coldzera sat in A main unnecessarily. Look, Cowes, if you're going to go to ladder, you've been mollied off.
Right, Red Canids, I'm afraid you've got to win this round, and it's not a round where you're at full strength. And Cowes has no idea that Gafolo's over toward Delpan, so that's a crazy quick headshot for Gafolo. Toward the opposite side of the map, that's Ponta. Picking window.
Yeah.
So he's going to be open. It's unfortunately a bad gamble.
Yeah, look, but I think it's still the right call for the gamble. I think Red Canids, if you go for a systematic approach, go for maybe a 1-1-2 or a 2-1 or a 2-2, it's never really going to work. You just, you're probably going to lose too many players. You actually just need to keep these weapons in play. But I like the idea from Sharks going for the hunt here, realizing, well, they're going for the save. If we can take, a couple of these rifles away, we are just going to win this final round because the money is so poor. Nice find from Venomzera. Does not need to go searching anymore, and Koala will find it. It's all on coldzera. 1v4. We'll get the first. Searching for another here, but Koala just playing with his food, and will find coldzera. A lot of the time, you look at Doc. Again, honestly, I don't think we've even seen the kind of the Doc we were expecting, which I guess means that if we get to Inferno, surely that's going to be the map where he actually does something, right? Yeah.
You would hope and you would think. One should be ending here pretty quickly, though. Cowes should... Oh, actually, surprised he didn't take that much damage to that HE. Still 31 HP, but RDN is going to exit the situation ASAP with his teammate with the bomb. And go back toward mid to team up with the other two. Ponta and coldzera, both with the MP9. Be difficult to find any way back in, and there you go. They're just trying to go for risks, right? Cold actually does well to find the one, but Bolo was there to hold the line. They have a free path up short now. Sure, there's going to be a quick rotation, and both players are going to be here pretty quickly, but Cowes on that 31 HP. If they can clear that site properly, they shouldn't get punished here, but hang on. Ponta's MP9 doing damage, but not enough damage, I'm afraid. Sharks do bounce back. They do take Mirage. We mentioned
that's where we could see a very one-sided scoreline, but I'm liking the idea from Red Canids on this pistol. They go slow. They're going to be maneuvering through Banana. It's just going to be Cowes probing initially, because it means that, okay, yeah, if he gets taken down, well, it's not going to be an issue, but it isn't. Cowes taking down, as he will find Doc. Already we've seen 3 rotations, just because RDN's taken this deep space in second middle. So we're going to see a bit of a bloodbath on B. Elevated now is Koala. Another flash coming through. They spotted him towards Pillar. Koala jumping down. What was the point of that? You've got to play it in CT. You can make that risky play through the smoke, but why is he jumped off the boost? What was the point in it? So unnecessary, and it's RDN in a 1v4. Surely this round found by Red Canids. They've got a good setup in place. One towards Dark, one towards New Box. And coldzera has already maneuvered through Ruins to hold if there's any pressure from RDN looking into CT. But Dink as well that is seen. RDN just going to look to save the Kevlar. Great pistol from Red Canids.
Yeah, that's just a good execute. And sure, mistakes made by Sharks without a doubt, but I do think even without that, maybe they just win the pistol run anyway, Red Canids, honestly. RDN's going to be able to get away all the way toward the T apartments and save the Kevlar. He took a goosh, but still got 100 Kev. So might be able to get a 350 helmet if he survives, and he will. That's actually pretty nice. Getting 1 kill. Going into the stack of 3. It's going to turn into the stack of 4 as well. Mac 10 is already close. Flash will be coming through. Smoke CT early, leaping his way through. It's a good take. The fellow actually does really well to get 1, and in the end, the fact there was a couple more players in play has made the big difference here. Koala, does he push through the smoke? Does he go through that smoke? There is a re-smoke in, and that's when he goes, but Cold's ready. Very, very aware of that, and Red Canids have done a really, really good job here of recovering the madness, dealing with the stack, and getting into a 2v1 in this afterplant.
Yeah, look, it was a great flash from Koala. And I think once his teammate takes contact on the bomb site, that's when you do need to swing. Obviously, Coldzera was holding, so I think he'd go down anyway. But Angelo, 1v2, so tough. Needs to try and isolate these fights, but the second contact's made. Cold swings as well.
Alvarez has dealt with Gafolo. Good entry toward top banana. And shouldn't be as scary in this sort of round, but RDN has found one on the dig. That's something to work with. Close left player, good little creep up, and then actually another kill. Other side of the map, RDN's out doing a brilliant job right now of making some damage happen. 2 kills with the deagle, 3 Galil to pick up, but Koala spotted tracers through the smoke. Oh no, Cows has gone down too. Suddenly there's a risk. RDN's already pretty quickly up banana. Smoked off, unfortunately, though, and I think he realizes now that with the damage done, damage is really good overall. He got a Galil, he's found a Molly, and he's found an HE. Keeping all of that would be very nice.
Ooh, nice utility damage. Look at Red Canids. They've been chipped away at. Doc will find Cowes. And this is what we need to see from Doc. Getting aggressive towards Banana, just getting these kills, being so clinical. And that's a 2-man advantage here that could go third, and Doc, the spray, just luckily connecting to the head of Venom's Era.
So, definitely worth.
Yeah, look, it means the drop won't have any utility, as it is just a 1.4 loss bonus. I guess Ponta maybe a bit fortunate that he dies before time, I guess. Oh. Coldzera nearly having that same fate as well. Heavy bit of conflict and contact, and I think Koala, if he can have a good round here, if he can have a good game, I think it's going to force Red Canids into going towards these plays towards B, and that's where things can get really tough. Shot's not really connecting, but Koala eventually finds Cowes. Obviously, there is a Max 10 already in Mini Pit, but the lack of continual aggression, Red Canids makes this so easy for Koala, not only doing more damage for Venom's Era, but finding Ponta as well. And RDN, again, it's really nice here, this kind of composition. Koala gets 4. Okay, yeah, well, that is how a pit player... Important flash sent there by the T's, but Angelo, it looks like he might give this another go. In fact, going to be flashing his teammates in, but Doc takes the timing shot and will find Cowes. And it's going to force the T's to head towards A. They don't really have the space to work with at all towards the B-bomb site, and that's why RDN, he's already rotating into the site with the knowledge that, okay, well, things could go a bit wrong quite shortly. Flashbang coming through from Koala, but it's a poor flash, not blinding drop. So down to this 4v4.
Yeah, they tried to get a bit of control toward long very, very quickly there, like as a response to losing Cowes and Banana to Doc. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out at all for Sharks when they tried to flash in to look for that long player. Drop got that 1 kill, but Imzo was there faster, but Drop was the one to find that kill. Doc surely doesn't get one more. Mollied out in sandbags, hoping they just think he's dropped back to site all the way rather than still playing sandbags. Definitely a risky call for Doc, but he got his 2 in the round. There's flash support for Gafolo. Sees 2 players. And now there's enough time for a rotation to come through as well. 30 seconds. Can they stand tall? They cannot. Venom Zero and Drop will hit their headshots. Great spray control in the end for that first one, which really made the difference. And even though damage is done, Koala finding a 1v3 here. Smoked off is not possible. I think they need a lead, at least. Okay. I think T-side is usually the favoured side on Inferno, especially in online matches. And Cowes, well, He's going to try and make that a reality, burning a little bit more toward top banana, but he's got his entry kill. Very, very bold as Canids toward the beginning of this round. But he's got his 1.5. That's acceptable considering the position he was in and the decision he made to go for a quick pop and a quick push. Yeah, I think you really need to lead on Tiki Side Inferno. 7-5, maybe even an 8-4 is necessary, I think, in this sort of meta right now. You feel comfortable with an 8-4. See if they can get anywhere near that. Ponta tried to be pushed down there by Koala. Koala needed a couple more bullets, but actually that one frag is going to make the difference. Would have been a 2v2 with him still alive towards short. Maybe a chance to jump around the corner in toward mid, get a reload, stay alive.
Yeah, I feel like this whole series has kind of embodied it. It's been kind of individuals. It's not really been based on game plan or strategy that's been the huge difference maker. But Cowes towards top banana. Dog will get one. Forced back now just from sheer ammunition.
And put all your eggs toward B because they've really not got much information. I believe that's a missed Molotov, exploded in mid-air there. Now 12 seconds for the site push. It shouldn't be successful. And there goes Drop, there goes Ponta, but Cold and Venom Zero will get through. Can they get the plant? Yes, they can. 4 seconds on the clock to get it down. Venom Zero tries to body block his teammate, so there's no risk of that plant being denied. Now they have a chance in the after plant.
Yeah, look, we do have that triple B setup, but again, Red Canids, they needed a moment of brilliance from Venom Zero. He gets 2 in that engagement, and Cold Zero as well chiming through. The retake still very much possible. The difficulty is because the round was so late played from Red Canids, there's no utility for this retake from Shark. So Venom Zero going to take contact, and Cold Zero now forced in the clutch. And Cold Zero, certainly a man of the clutch, certainly a player who's been in countless 1v1s. Scafolo just silently jumped there.
Well, he's made noise now. But yeah, I think he managed to... I'm not sure if he was boosted or anything. I don't think he was, right? I think he just managed to maybe get a crouch. You can maybe make, like, surprisingly silent jumps and moves if you're, like, shift your way in. Yeah, hug the wall and just, like, shift jump if you're able to grab the edge of the... Oh, hang on a second.
Things have gone a very interesting here.
Like, lots of damage.
Look at the positioning of Koala.
Exactly, like lots of damage was done to be able like at least get control of the B side of the map, but they lost the duels to just pistols, which is wild. And you're right about Koala's position in the apartment. Now got the AK picked up in the open. Venom Zero needs to deliver. That's a beautiful transfer, but he needs more. Now it has to be Cold once again, and this time he can't connect. It's a massive eco round win for Sharks. You said Red Cannon should be confirming at least a lead on the half. Sharks bite back. Coward's going to need afford a Tech 9. Neither of those two players that had to rebuy have a helmet. So, yeah, it's very awkward. Angelo's had a very, very quiet half, but that's a good, relaxing kill for him. Yeah, the flash has to be godly. They've got a molly on the floor still, which might make a difference, especially if it goes into a position of where one of these 3 players are playing from. But we'll have to see. Goes toward Coffin. Not going to work out. Needs quick entries. And Cowes, unfortunately, he may have got one quick entry, but he's entered his teammate as well. That puts it all down to Venom Zero and Cold once again. Good clear of Gafolo, though. And they do have time to reposition that plant to a slightly safer area. They were worried about a very quick banana rotation there. They got the plant down safely. They've won one of these before with Venom Zero and Cold. Can they win another one? They're going to try and double up toward Ruins. It's a great way of going about it. And the trade potential is good because the spacing was good. Red Canids recover 7.
The fact that these are the 2 that are stepping up and having kind of these important clutch moments is really key. And the fact that it is them in the clutch, they've got the best synergy. They've been kind of teammates for the longest time. So it is going to be very helpful. Okay, that is a bracket hold if I've ever seen one. 4 bullets, 4 kills. Well done.
Just like that, round over. And another pistol round, Zola, where Venom Zero gets a multi-frag.
in the last 4, yeah, on the last 4 pistol rounds, he's found 12 kills.
So I think it's going to be tight, but that's going to be a good nade. There we go. Doc's gone. I think Red Canids might have a little bit too much today. They do look like they're on a little bit better form. On T sides, not so much. They make lots of errors. On CT, they looked a little bit more solid in general over the course of the series, which is why I'm going to pick them to take this one. MP9 holding down mouse 1, gets 1 more kill, which is fine, but he was the only player over toward B. He did not call for an extra rotation as quick as he should.
How much utility they have, though.
Good util. Kit's available for the retake as the bomb goes down, but it's still retaking on Inferno.
It's definitely not going to be easy, but they still have another Molotov, 3 flashes, a smoke grenade they can use for Banana. The main issue I have with this is 3 retaking from Ruin is really not the game plan. Koala's in a good position. The bomb's halfway ticked. We had 3 players in CT before the bomb even planted, but the swing here from Angelo could go very wrong. Cowes doubles, and now all on Koala. It's got to go huge, but Coldzera ready and waiting. We mentioned there is a defuse kit in play. Has he just gotten off the bomb?
He's got it, it's fine.
Okay.
They had to make sure they were kind of worried for a second there that Cold was defusing. I'm pretty sure it's at the top.
This is a must-win round though for Sharks. You know that it could be a close one, but a loss here, 12-5. I don't see any world in which the game ends close. Ponta gonna look for the peak. Timing's excellent, great information. Gafolo finds one. Ponta traded by Angelo. Cowes pushing through just to find the one. Important from Doc. Venom Zero though, 21-7. He's got a 3 KD. He's had an exceptional game. And of course, it's Venom Zero and Coldzera in the clutch.
Oh, Cold's got a bit of a gap maybe past the Molotov.
Yes.
And he's not taking a tick to it. He's not taking a tick to that. That could open up something. There's a player in the smoke there. Venom Zero's trying to walk through as well. It's really awkward. Eventually go for his duel, but now with that molly having completely dissipated toward Ruins, toward that coffin area, it's going to be impossible for Cold to win it. Tries to pre-fire the Dark player, but not going to happen.
Sometimes you've got to have that risk. Your disadvantage is the 2v3 retake. You can't play the numbers. You don't have the util. You don't have the advantage. So I think in that moment, if Coldzera looked to push, it could have been very positive. But Cowes has been taken down, and so is Coldzera. Venom Zera completely alone here towards A. Does have an HE grenade, so if he times it well, could find RDN. Still, we've just got Venom Zera. Does have the M4A4, and the extra bullet here or there could help him, but taken down by Angelo. Pushing through the smoke is Ponta, but found by RDN. Still on low HP, RDN having impact, and Drop just going to have to save.
It's gone recently, and Trade hasn't been that amazing. People will kind of want Vertigo back, but yeah. I prefer Trade.
Oh, look, I love both maps.
Oh, fair enough. I got
no
my point in a second because I want to talk about this take for Red Canids. It's a really important one as well because Venom Zera has gone down already. Lots of smoke. There you see, there's that CT smoke kind of just littering Top Banana, that slightly bluer smoke. And Drop's still deciding to play in the corner with Ponta falling back. An early 1-for-1 in the round. Drop is kind of left to his own devices here. It's pretty awkward. Not really much he can do. They're not checking it properly, though, and he gets one more kill. That's huge!
Ooh.
And a second. That could change things in the Red Cannon's favour. The nade finally removes him, but it's a critical double.
And he can actually get the smoke down as well, and this is where Angelo is going to be peeking above it. In fact, he could have found a nice pick here if there was a jiggle from CT. It's going to be the play towards B. This is a great call from Sharks. Completely alone here now is Ponta. 2 mollies coming through. Ponta is going to be in a really tough scenario now. Okay, yes, Cowes is rotating through. Drops a Molotov. Missed shot from Angelo. And great round here from both Ponta and Drop. My favourite map in the pool.
I know. T-Side is tough, but I do love the map.
I'm playing Con. I'm just lurking. I'm not doing anything anyway. Nice setup here, though. Yeah, Red Cannon surely win this. Cowes is not the greatest of sprays, but Coldzera's Orb chiming in as well. They've got the bomb. They've got the 3-man advantage. Coldzera could find another if he's post towards apartments. Koala backs away. Angelo very much alone here. Oh, Angelo, he pushes in front of the molly. It's a crazy play to make, but you're in a 2 versus 5. This is not the time to try and be strategic. You're going to drop the smoke to try and reclaim the bomb, but there's going to be nades here from Cowes, surely. Naded the smoke, timed nicely. Cowes, he can find 2, but he doesn't. Angelo down to 1 bullet from death. 20 seconds on the clock. This one is done. The next 20 seconds are just a formality. The series has gone the way of Red Canids. A great performance from them. Obviously, this was the outcome we expected when they took train, but the slight mishap of Mirage, yet they still find it here on Inferno. What an exceptional series from them.